Your place on fire.
Hello. How you feeling? What it do? How it is? What it is? On this terrific Tuesday, it is your boy, it is your brother, like none other, Halsey Allen. And I'm live today on the Narrative Podcast. This is the home of Black positivity and progression. Welcome all my narrators and anybody new to the platform. I'll brief you in a second. Just getting set up, getting ready here. All right, so if you're new to the podcast, this is the Narrative Podcast. I call it the Narrative Podcast because I change the episode, or change the narrative one episode at a time. And how do I do that? I do it by dispelling, dismissing, and destroying negative black stereotypes. I basically tell our stories from our perspectives on our own terms and conditions. And the reason why I feel I needed to do that, to provide an outlet, a platform to do that, because the media does an excellent job at portraying black people and black culture in the most negative light possible. They do that basically for profit, and it also is a form of psychological warfare. It is psychosomatic programming and conditioning at its finest when the media does that. They'll use little dog whistles in reference to black people, such as minority, saying words like underserved, urban, just to kind of indicate, that they're talking about black people. And always portraying us and showing us in poverty, impoverished circumstances, not educated, involved in gang activity, random acts of violence, basically hyper-criminalizing our men, hyper-sexualizing our women, and marketing us as destitute degenerates that serve no purpose in society or contribute to humanity in any way, shape, form, or facet. And so I wanted to create a platform where I'm highlighting our successes and promoting and encouraging black reciprocity and black unity, black love, and portraying us in a positive light. And then also when we have stories that come up about us to, tell the black side of it, tell the black perspective of, breaking news, because they'll put the narrative out that have us looking and sounding all kinds of crazy, because you know how they manipulate these sound bites and video clips. And just for example, like the Kanye thing a few years back with the slavery was a choice, they took a hold of that and just showed us that clip. But when you went back and watched it in its entirety, it wasn't too much better, but it made more sense than how they set it up initially. How that clip started circulating initially. it's like, okay, the brother misspoke. But yeah, that's the type of trickery and subterfuge that the media goes out of their way to do. Black people and black culture. Yeah. All right. So if you've never listened to me before, I have a format. What I do when I have my normal broadcast. This is not a normal broadcast. This is just a random live. I want to share some good information with you, but I'm gonna just set up my basic format with you. If you've never listened to me before, if this is your first time listening, what I do is I'll start out by promoting a black-owned business. It's usually up to 2 to 3, sometimes 4. And the reason why I promote the black-owned business is, again, to showcase and highlight our successes, because the types of black-owned businesses that I promote on this platform are usually the owners didn't have proper education, a background. Basically, they just grinded and made it work. You know, they didn't have answers to begin with. You know, they didn't have anybody to consult. They just had a vision, believed in themselves, believed in their vision, and constructed their business product or service from the ground floor up, and was able to parlay it into making $1 million or more type entity or venture. And also, the type of black-owned businesses that I promote also do some type of outreach or reach back into the community to employ their own, train their own, and provide resources for their own. So next, after I'm done promoting the black-owned businesses, I segue into spotlighting a prominent figure. It's usually somebody in the entertainment industry, usually like in the craft of acting or recording artist, or just somebody widely known. Might be a public influencer. Definitely somebody black. Basically to highlight, give them their roses for work they've done that may not have gotten noticed or widely talked about, kind deeds, and representing for the culture. And then next, after I spotlight a prominent figure, I segue into my health and wellness tip of the day. And the reason I start doing the health and wellness tip, especially in these times, need to fortify the immune system. Being black in America and abroad, but especially in America, we are, heavily traumatized and stressed out in this little thing, this condition. I'm not going to call it the struggle, because in previous episodes I've already talked about the power of words, but it's definitely a condition, and you need to condition yourself to survive the condition. And so that's why I do health and wellness tips, things to help you increase and maintain your vitality, so this little invisible thing don't get you, to keep your immune system fortified and keep your mind strong, because everything, all diseases are rooted in the mind. And we have, again, with the nature of this podcast, the powers that be trying to manipulate and control your mind. So, and then after that, the health and wellness tip, I move on to the speaking point of the day if I have one. Sometimes I don't have a speaking point. Sometimes I'm just, freeballing it. But whatever I discuss or talk about is definitely on point. I definitely hit the nail on the head. That's why, I'm gaining momentum and getting more and more people listening to me, being mentioned in circles. So yeah, I appreciate all the love. I'm catching subs from a lot of people. I don't know why they just won't, shout me out, whether it's like contractual obligation or where they can't say the name of my podcast, or they just want to see more from me, want to see me elevate and platform up, or elevate my platform. I don't know, but it's cool though. I know you're listening, and I know you want to see more from me. I got you. On everything, I got you. I'm hearing all the subs. I appreciate it. And then lastly, I'll just close out with, words of wisdom, gems, jewels, whatever you want to call it. And in my show, ideally, I'll try to keep all my segments under an hour, but sometimes I can get a little passionate and get a little over. But yeah, I try to neatly package it up to an hour. If I've ever gone over, sometimes I got segments right now that are 2 hours long when I first started doing it, but I know nobody really wants to listen to somebody just droning on for an hour talking and talking and talking. So my thing is I want to, captivate you. I want my message to resonate with you. I want you to spread it out, because my theme on my platform, my slogan is I change the narrative one episode at a time. I want my listeners to control the narrative on their social media one post at a time, meaning I want you guys to post something positive happening in black culture on your timelines, because we can control the narrative that way. Because if we don't take control of the narrative, what's going to happen is we're going to have, our history written for us and people telling us what we mean and, what is black, and dictating and gatekeeping in our culture. So it's what's definitely happening right now with these next 2 things that I'm going to be speaking about later on, before I share these very good articles with you today. But before I even jump into that, I just want to say, first and foremost, please download this episode and all previous episodes of the Narrative Podcast. I'm on Apple and Spotify and most major podcast distribution networks and sites. So please, if you please, download and like this. Then also I have a poetry blog called Hodges Poetry Corner, where I have my personal poems that I post on there. It's on blogger.com, and the link is www.mrhodgesblogs.com. The tagline for it is poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. You know exactly what I mean by that when you read them. All my poems are guaranteed to strike a chord and resonate with you. You probably know of someone going through what you're reading, or have met, or maybe even help explore layers of yourself you didn't know you had through my art form. But regardless, visit that link, and to support me, please just comment on a poem. The easiest way to comment on one of my poems is to sign in with your Gmail, if you have a Gmail account, and just, hey, I like this is cool, woo, 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 whatever. I get the alert, algorithm, and all that. And also follow it too. It's called Hodges Poetry Corner. You can also follow it. So follow it too. Share it, like it, all that good stuff.